Folks, I don't know if you've seen Grant Cardone on social media. He was just on Fox News. He's been on Business Insider. He is out saying that we are about to experience the greatest real estate crash in his lifetime. And I believe he believes it. The first thing I want to highlight here is he's very clear. It is not, I repeat, not coming to the single family market. It is indeed coming to commercial, office, multifamily. He is out talking about buildings going 50% off. And if you're paying attention to Real Deal, you are seeing buildings transact at 50% of previous purchase price. The reason I want to have this conversation with you today is because we have the one and only and great Stephen Dow with us. And we are going to talk about how investors, if I'm talking about you, if they understand how to play with the different loan options, they could do something that's called the 50-40-10. They could buy commercial buildings with 10% down. Yep. They could get seller carry, and they could close on a commercial building. I plan to use the 50-40-10 a lot when I'm trying to negotiate commercial properties. But we've got the one and only Stephen Dow. Let's do the marketing thing so we can talk about the fun stuff.
I was wondering if you're going to remember. Yes, again, although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get another good one going. So yeah, as it pertains to the 90% CLT, specifically of what we're discussing, the loan structure ideally at 50-40-10, meaning
right.
Velocity provides the 50% LTV first mortgage, seller has enough equity, can carry the 40% second, buyer comes in with little as 10. That's the ideal setup. But again, if depending upon how, where the comfort zone is for both parties, buyer and seller, maybe he doesn't want to carry 40, but maybe he'll carry 30. So we'll do a 60-30-10 or whatever the case is. So any combination up to a 90% CLTV. With that being said, I've done it multiple times for, not only people from your channel that, millionaires or a couple of your experts on the channel as well, but it's been very well received. Once people kind of understand the concept, now they're out there hunting and they're out there looking for the right, situation or circumstances for something like this to apply. So, but yeah, that's basically what it is.
I want to be very clear. There are going to be some sellers that the 50-40-10 is actually going to allow you to pay more money. Mm-hmm. And there was a building that just transacted that was bought in 2018, just resold in 2023. It had a 54% discount to the 2018 price.
Wow.
Now, this, of course, is a big building in San Francisco. San Francisco has its own problems. But what I want people to realize is they're going to be what I'm looking for, the small mom and pop, the 5 to 40 units.
Yep.
Who overpaid in 2020 or 2021. Mm-hmm. Who, if they want to go through a full foreclosure, are going to be completely wiped out.
Right.
Right. Because they put in 30% down or whatever. Mm-hmm. There is a chance that we could pay near list price, but structure the payments and the debt where I could buy a commercial building with 10% down. I can get a combined interest rate, Velocity plus seller, on 90% of the debt that's below market. Mm-hmm. I could structure the debt that it's fixed for a long time, maybe delay a balloon, maybe do a silent second, meaning no payment. There are so many options. I want people to realize that are on this channel, you have to understand how to use the 50-40-10 to help a seller.
Right.
You don't only have to slash and burn and do cash only. You can structure the loan and the debt so everybody wins. What do you think?
Agreed. No. Again, just having a more meaningful conversation with the seller to where you can lay all the cards on the table. Like here's a potential solution to both of our problems. If one, you don't need all the proceeds from the sale of your property right away, and two, how long can you go without getting 100% of the proceeds? So at that point, you kind of have a baseline of how to structure the financing potential in a second, but that at least I believe allows you to open up the conversation. But yeah, I think understanding all the factors, what the market rents are relative to what the financing terms are going to be, can sometimes help to structure the financing so that the property can sometimes cash flow from day one, even at 90% leverage.
Yeah.
And so that the seller in second position is less likely not to get paid because, again, if the tenant pays enough rent to pay both mortgage payments,
Yeah.
it's a win-win. And the seller, I mean, depending upon how the buyer negotiates the price, chances are he's going to get closer to his original
Yeah.
or desired, sales price versus everybody lowballing him, for the next couple months. So I've seen it done. Just you got to do the work, crunch the numbers, and
Yeah.
have a deeper conversation. But when you find the right situation, man, it's a lovely thing.
Yeah. And the other thing to really talk about this, why I think the 50-40-10 is the right answer for both the seller and the buyer in this case,
Mm-hmm.
is even Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone's talking about the greatest real estate crash in his lifetime, commercial oriented, but he's very clear. He's like, this is a 2024 and a 2025 problem because what happens
Right.
on the other side of this is
Mm-hmm.
rent increases. Grant
Right.
is out there saying the Fed's going to create the most renters in the next, decade than's ever happened. So if
Mm.
you can get into an asset, negotiate the debt, the payment, so that you could
Mm-hmm.
hold through these 2 years and then
Right.
have 3, 4, 5, 10 years on the other side for rent growth,
Yeah.
you could make a home run deal and
Oh yeah.
overpay. It's pretty powerful.
It's definitely powerful. It's just understanding how the game is played and structuring it for the big picture perspective and not just like, oh, I just want the lowest rate now. And no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
it's not
You
all
kind of
about
have to
rate.
figure out,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right. So, but yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. It's just kind of structuring the financing accordingly, but after doing all your due diligence and homework, like your hat says, just do the work. Once
Yeah.
you do the work and you can get all the right, exact figures, now you know what you're playing with. And then, yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but really it's just that simple. The
Yeah.
opportunities are out there if you do the work.
Yeah. The other thing I want to do is I want to blend together what today is wildly pushed house hacking.
Mm-hmm.
The FHA just came with this new 5% down on fourplexes and below. It's an awesome program.
I
I
saw.
want to change it up a little bit. I want to remind you that Arnold Schwarzenegger started house hacking a sixplex back in
Right.
the day in Southern California. And it's actually real
Mm-hmm.
estate that made Arnold Schwarzenegger a millionaire before he was Conan the Barbarian in his first big movie role,
Right.
later the Terminator, and later governor of California. It was real estate. So I would
Right.
push people to think about, you know what? If Grant Cardone is right, the next 2 years are where there's pain in multifamily. Could I do a deal and actually move into the building, thus lowering my living costs, right? For most people, other
Mm-hmm.
than taxes,
Mm-hmm.
it's living costs.
Right.
Could I pull off Arnold Schwarzenegger for a couple of years as I invest in myself, I grow, and then on the other side, when rents go up and value add and cap rates, reset,
Mm-hmm.
then I go buy my forever home. I just
Right.
want people to realize that of all my new millionaire series, it's becoming painfully clear um, that people are sacrificing. And maybe a sacrifice is I move into an apartment building I own and live
Right.
for free. Maybe.
Right. Well, I mean, I've had conversations with certain individuals who are thinking about that. It's just that the initial, concept of the house hacking was more feasible, or I think in their mind more attainable or controllable, I guess. Because again, I think some people have maybe some certain anxieties of taking on too big of a project or too big of a place. But no, if the numbers make sense, I mean, again, like you said, when rent appreciation starts to go up, you could ride that along with the property appreciation. So getting in and, like you said, structuring a way, you might overpay in this snapshot of a time right now, but
Right.
later on in the big picture, when the values have increased because the rents have come up, now you're like, oh, I didn't overpay,
Yeah.
I actually underpaid, given the
Yeah.
big picture perspective. Like, So yeah, I think just understanding the full big whole picture and not
Yeah.
just like short, kind of perspective, I think allows you to really make those big, big gains.
Big moves. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Finding a way to get a 40 unit, 30, 20 unit building, whatever it is for you,
Mm-hmm.
structure the debt so it cash flows monster day one, live in it to
Mm-hmm.
lower your housing costs for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years as this turns. You
Mm-hmm.
could really take what Grant Cardone says and really profit as an individual. Last
I'm.
thing, just to let you know, I spoke with Miguel Ochoa today,
Oh,
and
really?
he raved about you. Yes, Miguel and I just did his new investor series. You helped him close on a fourplex deal that had
Yep.
a lot of hair on it, so he wanted
Oh
to make
man.
sure I said thank you.
Oh, well, tell Miguel I said hi, of course. And yes, you are correct. I was gonna dress up as Edward Scissorhands for Halloween
Uh,
just because I'm so good with all these hairy deals. But
uh,
yeah, it that one we had to pivot a couple times, but it worked out. It worked
yeah,
out.
he was very complimentary to what you were
Thanks, man.
able to do for him. So
Yeah. Well, Miguel, thanks again, man. Appreciate the opportunity to be of service. Happy New Year, of course, if you're watching.
yeah, there you go. So bring us home, wrap us up. 2023 year in
Hmm.
review,
Yes,
2024
sir.
look ahead. What says Stephen Dow?
2023 was an interesting year. Um, yeah, I mean, uh, there was a lot of things going on that I was trying to look forward to. Like I didn't think we were going to have like a soft landing, but it
Mm-hmm.
seems like it is kind of. I mean, at least I'm
Yeah, kind of.
sensing that I might be looking at things differently from my perspective. But but again, we don't know the full effects until 2024. But going into an election year, you
Yeah,
got all this other global issues and all. It's gonna be a wild ride, man. So either way, as far as on the financial side and real estate though, I think it's going to be still a good year.
yeah,
Um, I mean, if what they're talking about with the rate cuts, if that starts to trickle down into my world, woo,
yeah,
the phone's going to be ringing off the hook again. So, not if, but when I
yeah.
come back on the channel and tell everybody, oh, we dropped rates, that's when it's going to be a fantastic day. So I'm looking forward to that in 2024. Also looking forward to helping more people.
Yeah.
And again, in 2023, everybody that I was being able to speak to from the Orat family, thank you, of course, for trusting in me to try to meet some of your financing needs. And looking forward to continued business with some of my regulars from your channel. So they're all pretty much just waiting for
Yeah.
rates to go down. They've called multiple well, one rental at a time. Family members have called me already, reached out and said, "Hey, have rates dropped yet? If they, if when they do, give me a call because I'm ready." So people are starting to do some homework and kind of sitting,
Yeah.
anxiously awaiting for 2024. But I think 2024 is going to bring better. If anything, we had a little bit of hiccup. 2023 started off pretty good, I think, overall, given come some of the crash, some of the downturns. But I think it ended on a higher note than what I was kind of expecting, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
Uh,
fair.
yeah, but I think 24 is going to be an interesting year. Again, like I said, with it going to an election year, who knows what it's going to be like once the election is finished and who goes into office and all that other stuff. So we'll see. But just optimism and positivity for 2024. To be honest with you, because
I like it.
yeah. What about yourself? What do you think?
I agree with you. I think 2023 Q1 really went down hard. Real estate was, had a couple of months of negative month on month price. You had some flippers get their ass handed to them. 2024, I just talked with folks. It looks like somebody just priced an FHA conventional owner OC, which again, you don't do a velocity.
Right.
Let me see if I get this right. 20% down, FHA, owner OC,
Uh-huh.
780 plus credit score, 2.5 points paid by the seller.
Right.
Guess what the rate was?
5.75.
4.875.
Oh man. No, I
Damn.
mean, I know. Well,
I did not think we'd see
it's
a four handle.
no, I know, and I think a little too soon. I
No, it
was
is
hoping that
too
it was
soon.
gonna
Yeah, it
right.
is too
Come on,
soon.
Mike. I think we haven't given enough time,
No,
and
we
so
need to
then
stop this. Yes.
I agree with you because there's going to be really very little refi market. It's going to cause more issues as far as price.
Bidding
Because
wars and
then,
oh,
yep. Oh, dude. It's going to be tough for investors for sure, but for like loan professionals like myself, it's another good day because rates are low again, and everyone's like, "Oh, financing,
yeah.
financing, financing." So, but
4.875. I
I
couldn't
know,
believe
but
it.
for the bigger picture, it's not like actually for me though, it doesn't really impact my business,
Yeah, you're not owner rock.
directly
You
that
don't play
hard.
there. Yeah, you don't play there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Pretty
but
crazy.
in any case, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, of course, thanks for the opportunity as always. Another great year with one rental at a time channel. Looking forward to
I love
many
it.
years moving forward. And yeah,
Yeah.
likewise, brother. So
If somebody
happy
wanted
New
to reach
Year.
out, how they do that?
Oh, of course, SDAO at velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one rental at a time to get past the firewall. The body of the email, be maybe brief description, what you're looking for. Property address would be great, at least city and state to make sure, we lend there. Good FICO score would really help. And of course, the best phone number to reach you. And within 24, 48 hours, I'll usually be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you much, Stephen. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's see here. May 2024 bring you continued health, happiness, and prosperity, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, brother.